Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I got something really cool for you guys that I just got in the mail. It is the Egon Spangler Proton Pack exclusive from Hasbro Pulse. Now for any of you who don't know what was going on with that, about a year ago, Hasbro did, I guess it's like a GoFundMe to where if enough people, gave enough money and they reached certain, financial goals, they would actually fund this project and make it. So luckily the project obviously was made, and all the other tiers for all the extra stuff also went through. So I am really excited about this because of the fact that I always wanted a one-to-one scale Ghostbuster pack since I was a small kid. So, and the nice thing about this too was through Hasbro, it actually had a reasonable price point. It was around somewhere, I think, $400 and some change, maybe $500, which isn't bad because your average Proton pack goes for about $1,000 and up. So it's a really good price point for, a really cool product. I'm really excited to be opening this up and sharing this with you guys. So just remember, what I'm going to be doing with this is I'm going to look at the box and stuff first. I'm going to go through the pack, all the different, accessories, all the really cool, neat things it could do. So I'm really juiced up for this one. And just remember, if you do like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. And if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button. So without any further ado, let's take a look at this thing. All right, so here's the packaging for it. It's really nicely packed. I like the way how it looks, like it's an old trunk. You got your Ghostbuster logo here. Egon Spangler's Proton Pack. Now, here's a neat little thing. To the detail of the box, like they actually have a thumbprint thing. So, like if this was a real, case, like you would actually have to use a thumbprint to get into it. So I think that's kind of a cool detail. You got your age restriction here. You got the Hasbro logo there. So let's spin it around. All right. You got this side here that just looks like another piece of the trunk. All right, you spin it around to the back. You got the, police stripes here, the caution tape. You have what would be considered the hinges for, the chest. Then you have the Ghostbuster logo here. All right, you have your other side, which just looks like another part of the chest. All right, and then you have the top here, which has your caution tape and your Ghostbuster logo. All right. And then you have the bottom, which has your legal. It has all your legal. It has the caution tape stripes, and it looks like a bottom of a trunk. So with all that being done, let's get a really good look at this thing. Okay, so here's the actual pack, and let me say, this is really nice. I love how Hasbro did this. They put a whole lot of detail into this, from, the computer ribbon. They have all these little, copper cables that go into here. The look of the whole pack. I mean, this looks really, really nice. There was definitely a lot of work, a lot of effort. I mean, even when you got this cable, you actually have the braided cable that goes, into here, and it's a beautiful looking pack. I really like how this looks. I'll give it a quick rotation. It's going to be hard because of how big it is, but take it off the stand here. So you have this side of the pack. All right, you have the back of the pack. Now on the back here, you got your straps. Now, from what I'm hearing is they make it so this thing is easily modified to put the Alice straps on it. Now, for any of you who don't know, the original Ghostbusters pack had a military class Alice frame that they use for the actual pack. But from what I heard, the reason why Hasbro didn't make it with that is because of rights issues. The military has rights to that kind of frame. So, but I do see like here, and here are all spots to where you can actually screw in the actual Alice frame, which is nice. Right here, you have your battery pack. So this is where you would put your batteries in right here. All right. Also on the back, you have, you know, some of your legal and what have you there. But I am eventually picking up an Alice frame for this. So when I do, I will definitely do a review on how that hooks up, how easy it is. From what I've seen on other things, it's pretty easy. I'm going to do this here. I literally just ripped this out of the box. So what this is where's my razor? All right. So that's just paper here to protect your clips. So this will go around your waist. Clip in like that. You have your adjustment straps on both sides. They did give it that olive green look to the straps, which the original packs did have. So now this thing has nice weight to it too. You know, it definitely has weight. It's kind of heavy, which it's meant to be. I heard of a lot of the custom packs being really, really heavy. And I know they tried to keep the weight down on this the best they could. So now let me grab it again. Spin her around one more time. So now we're looking at the other side. You have the other side here. You have your clip right here where your Neutron wand will hook up. And the detail, like, I love how they make this look like, you know, it's just electrical tape. And then you spin it around to the top. You have the top here. You have your warning labels here. You're looking at the top of the piece. And yes, I know this isn't on yet. I'm going to show you people me putting this on as part of the review. So let me take the pack down for a second. Oops. And let's look at the frame that this thing comes with. So this is the frame here. It's a simple design. It's all plastic. It's made to look like it's, you know, metal. You have your Ghostbuster logo here. All right, it's pretty sturdy, pretty solid. It locks into place. When I bring this up closer, you can see these here. That's how it locks into place. And then there's also clips in here that locks into place. Once it's locked in place, though, it isn't coming apart. And I'll tell you that right now, it locks in pretty solid. The only thing I would suggest with this is you do have to give a good bit of pressure to put this in. Don't go too crazy with it, because the last thing you want to be doing is breaking the clips, because they're plastic. It's all plastic, so, you know, you have to give it a nice, you know, grip and push, but be gentle all the same, if that makes any sense. So let's get this pack back up here. All right. And the pack just locks in nicely onto that frame. Very easy, no complications. So next we're going to start looking at some of the stuff that comes with this. So you have this stuff here, which is kind of neat because this is set up to look like a ghost trap. So let's pop this open and see what's in here. All right. So, all right. All right, so these are the parts for your Stay Puft Marshmallow Men. Now, for any of you who aren't too familiar with Afterlife, they had mini Stay Puft Men in it. I'm sure you probably saw it in the commercials at various points of, you know, destroying and burning each other. So this one's completely assembled. The arms move. All right, let's bring them up a little bit closer. All right, the head moves. Let's get this little dude a rotation. So he's a goofy looking little marshmallow guy, which is kind of cool. All right. You got this one here. All right, with his face. Same points of articulation as the other one. Like I said, they're in various forms of being burnt. All right. And you got this little angry dude here. All right, head spins, arms move just like the other ones. Let's give them a little rotation. All right. So it's kind of cool that they all come in these little traps. Now you got, well, it looks like it's 3 variant heads. All right. So you have this variant head here. All right. You have the other one that I showed you, but I'll show you again. This one here. All right. And you also have this head here. All right. Now it comes with the instructions. The instructions are fairly simple. So I love this, you know, blueprint look that it comes with. So it actually does look like blueprints and what have you, you know. And this opens up. You got all your instructions on how anything does what and where. All right. And then the back is how to connect your Neutron one, which I do have, so we will also be going over that. All right. I can go back there. You have Egon's journal. All right. So this, you know, is all of his information here on different types of specters. You know, a little bit about Vigo. And all sorts of other neat things that, you know, I'm really excited to start reading about. You know, his family and what have you. So this is kind of a really cool, this is one of the tiers that, you know, when you reach a certain tier, you got a hold of this. The same as the stand. The stand was the final tier. So now you also have clean stickers too. Because I know some people out there are going to want to modify this to look like the pack from the original 80s movie. So they also have the clean stickers. So if you look here, all the stickers in here are beat up and dirty. And so now you have the clean versions of them as well. So if you want to make it more like, you know, the 80s movies, you can do that as well. Then you also have these here. These are cool looking stickers. You know, very retro, obviously. You know, that you can, you know, stick to things, what have you. You have another sheet of that, which has the Afterlife stuff. So you have, you know, that whole retro look. Actually, this one looks kind of cool. I like the whole pyramid and what have you with the eyes and stuff. So this is kind of neat. All right, so that is that. Next box we have here are all the pieces and stuff to connect your neutrino wand to the pack. So right here you got your hose and your whole setup to set that up. All right, let's see what else we got in here. All right, for any of you who might want to do this, there's an orange cap here. I think they did that because of cosplay and stuff. I know some places won't let you have anything that resembles a gun without an orange tip, so they put that in there just in case. All right, let's see what this is. I think I know what this is. All right, rip this open. And now this is here is the piece that connects up into here. Now, I know some people out there know what every part is, what everything does. I'm a huge Ghostbuster fan, but I don't know all that stuff. So this piece just fits nicely right here. Just clips on. All right. There's no screwing it on. There's no, you know, bells and whistles. It looks like it sits on there pretty solid. If I would say if you start running with issues of this falling off, I'm sure a little bit of glue on there and it'll stick there forever. If you want it removable, it's also removable. All right. And then this here. Okay, I know what this is. This is pretty cool too. when I get past all this paper. So what's in here is all the brackets and screws. And I'll pull a couple of them out and stuff that you're going to need to hook on the Alice frame. So they give you all the hardware. So if you're somebody who likes to modify your pack, you already have the hardware to modify this to have the Alice frame, which is really cool. I really like that. So, you know, I'm going to tell you right here, right now, they put a lot of thought into this, okay? This thing is definitely very worth the price point that it was. Now, for fun, I went on, you know, the internet, you know, eBay and such, and I'm seeing how much these things are going on eBay, and of course, the price point is at least at $1,000 or more. So, if you're like me and you're one of the lucky ones who were able to get it through the Hasbro Pulse, you know, then we were the lucky ones, because anybody else is now going to be paying out the yin-yang for this setup, which we got for, like I said, I think after taxes and shipping and all, probably came out to a little over $500. Or now anybody who's getting it on the secondhand market is probably going to be, you know, paying buku dollars for this. So, you know, we should be happy that we were lucky enough to get it, you know, through Hasbro Pulse. So the last bit of stuff that it comes with is in here, physical samples and what have you. So I'm guessing this is probably the marshmallow or the slime. I think if you were like Hasbro Pulse member or whatever, you got the slime. If you weren't, you just got, you know, the marshmallow. So, yeah. So this is the marshmallow stuff here. You know, it's just a white plastic. You know, nothing big, nothing spectacular. It just hooks onto the pack itself in various positions. I haven't looked over the directions on how it goes on, but, you know, that will be part of, you know, the next segment where I go over all the special features and cool things about it. This is just me going over the basics of the pack. So let's start looking into all the fun and cool, neat things. All right, so here we have the battery pack open. You just got this little door here that comes off. Now, be careful with these screws. I was almost afraid of stripping this one. They put them in really, really tight. So just take your time with it. You know, don't try to force it. Otherwise, you will strip these screws. So what it does is it takes 4D batteries, which I have here. All right. So you got your first one, your second one, your third, and your fourth. So I guess that's the pack's way of letting you know it's powering up. So we'll close this up. Take our handy little screwdriver. Now, I'm sure most of you know this, but I always like to explain things. When you tighten up any battery pack here, just tighten it up just enough to where you give a little bit of a oomph to make sure that it's closed. You don't want to tighten it up too much, because when you have to take this pack off, this door off again, you don't want to risk stripping your screws. Like I know some people will use like a power screwdriver and what have you, which you can. Just be extra careful of not stripping your screws. So that's the pack, battery pack. We now have batteries in it. The batteries do not come with it, so you have to get your own batteries, and this thing's ready to be used. All right, so now it's time to go over some of the goodies with this. We already installed our batteries. We already put on our ion rod, I believe this is called. So what we're going to do is we're going to kick her on. Now, to turn her on, here, I'll pop her off of here. There's a little red switch. So bring her around this way. Got my arm stuck in between there. So if you look there, there's that little red switch, and that's going to be how you turn her on. All right. Now, one thing I did notice, that's, all right. One thing I did notice on this is over here, let's spin her around before we turn her on. So right here, there's this little button. You'll push this button and this pops open. So it looks like you got a little storage area here. I don't know if that's something for modifications or what have you. So if anybody knows if this is something specific to modifications or what have you, just let me know in the comments. Or it could just be a cool place to store stuff. So that just closes up just as simple as that. We have our switch right here. Spin her around. All right. Let's turn her on. So as you can see here, you look here first. There's your power cell. All right. Your cyclotron is on and lit. You got your cool rotation that we're all, know as fans. Now over here on the crank, this is how you control the volume. So if I spin this down, the volume goes down. Turn it up. And now you can hear the power flowing in this thing. So that's really cool that you can actually adjust all this here. I'm going to kick her off for a minute, which is pretty cool. Now, here comes the really cool thing about this is the cyclotron. The cyclotron actually comes apart and you can actually look into this, which a lot of us Ghostbuster fans are really cool and hyped about this. So this is going to be my first time taking it off, so I might fumble a little bit with it. But so you're going to learn about this as I learn about this. So this is going to be fun. So first off, all right, you have to start taking the cords off. So this is supposed to just pop right off of there. And once again, I say this on all my videos. Don't overpower anything. If something's giving you a little bit of problem coming off, just work it a little bit. And it's going to eventually come off. All right. So now this would be next here. All right. It looks like this also just pulls off. So let's try pulling this off. Oops. These nutted in, or does this just should just pull right out of there? There. All right. So that pops right off. Now that's going to be another thing you want to look at. Like if you look here, this is held on by two little clips. Now what you do is you pull these in, and that allows you to pull it off. Unfortunately, in the directions, it doesn't really explain that. So you think it's just something that just pulls out, but it isn't. You just pull these in, and it'll pop off. So like I said, that's something that's not specified in the actual directions. All right. Next thing you know, you pull this off. That just pops off of there. All right. This unscrews. And that piece comes off. And this is metal, which is really nice. So the detail to this is really nice to this. Your bar comes off. It pulls forward very easily. Slides out really nice. All right, let's get a good look at that while we got it off. All right, so these two pieces here just slide on either side of the cyclotron. All right. And that just pulls off. Now let's look at this first. Now look at this detail. You know, each one of these are unique. It looks really cool. You know, if you're somebody who's really into paints and stuff, and you want to paint some of this up to look a little bit more detailed, you can. So that's kind of a really neat setup. These do actually twist off, so they do come off, which is really neat. And then they just twist back on. And once again, This is the Cyclotron, so this is, you know, your light system here. So that's really cool. All right. This doesn't come off, but this here too could probably be modified. I know a lot of people are fans of the games, and what it is in the games, you have a release valve. So when it overheats, you know, it decompressurizes out of here. So if you're somebody who's really into the games, I'm sure there's a way you can modify that. If you actually look at this, you can see that it has a vent system to it. So anybody who wants to do those kind of modifications to it, it's certainly capable of doing that. It's just a matter of doing the actual mod, which is nice. All right, and now looks like is this should just, oh, this spins and unscrews. All right, so what you got is a nut here that just comes right off. Right, and that just pulls off, and then there's your arc reactor in here, which is really cool. And like I said, if you're somebody who's into paints, some of this stuff you could just paint this, like you can paint all these different wires, you can do whatever detail work you want to do to this. This thing is fully capable of being modified and stuff, and I really like that. I think that's really cool. You know, once again, let's get a good look at this piece here. It's just the core reactor, which is kind of cool. You know, now also you have controls in here, and these are designed to change the sounds up. So what you can do is one of them is to change it to the sound for the actual movie. I wonder, let's have some fun here. No. So see, you can change to different types of modes and play with those in there. Now I noticed one thing. This won't turn on, if you see here, with the cyclotron apart. So you have to actually put it all back together for this to function, which is cool, but you know, so like I said, you can switch those around. If you look at the directions here, it tells you like what one makes what set of sounds and what have you. So if you have them both down, that's classic mode. Looks like one up, you have afterlife mode, and then turn on mode, and then turn off mode. So if you have both down like that, or maybe both up. Now that's on. So this is definitely something you play around with, you know, and figure it out as you know, get better with this. So I'm going to just put them both in this mode. Let's see how that works. And once again, it all goes back together pretty simple like. So this pops into here. That goes on there. Just like that. Now you don't want to tighten it too much, just enough to where it sits in there. All right. So you can even do your switches and stuff, you know, with this in. So you don't have to have it completely in pieces. All right. Let's pop this back on. I'm going to put them both in this position. And this all comes off pretty easy. All right. Line this up here. So right here, there's a set of plugs. They line up with this here. If you look here. Right. Alright. And I'm just trying to be gentle with this. I don't want to be breaking this on the first day I got it. That would not make me happy. So what we'll do here is that don't want to really go on too easy. Now it might be also how it's sitting on here too. Yeah, okay. So what was the problem was the way how I had it sitting on the stand, it wasn't letting that close back up. All right. So that goes on just like that. This goes back on here to hold it into place. And those just slide in this position. All right. So that goes on like that. Pick this up. Okay. And that just holds it back into place. Plug that in here. Take this, plug that back into here. See, before I do that, plugs in there. And that plugs in there. And she's back up and running. So that's pretty cool. Now the only thing I don't like is that those switches, here, let me cut this off. That those switches are in the Cyclotron. I mean, it's a neat way to hide them. But if you want to toggle through the different modes, like the Afterlife mode or the classic 80s mode or whatever, it's going to be a little bit of a pain in the rump to pull this off every time, mess with the switches, put it back on, turn it back on. I think it would be a neater feature to where, you know, you could adjust these things with that off. So, like, if you want the Afterlife one, you turn it on, maybe I want that, or switch it up for something else, and so forth. So, you know, overall, it's a neat setup. I really like it. It has a lot of cool potential to it. Now, back to the slime, or in this case, the marshmallow. Well, how this works is all it does is wrap around your wires. There's a little tab right here that just goes in the hole, you know, just like this. And it just wraps around here like that, and now you have marshmallow on your pack. It's the same, like, I know there's a bigger one. This one would wrap around here, so you could get that like that. I'm not going to latch them all into place right now, just so you get the gist of it. You know, you can modify these. Oops, flip that around and put them wherever you want and hook them into place so it looks like your pack has been slimed, which is really cool, or in this case, marshmallowed. You know, and then they easily just kills RoboCop, and they just easily pop off. And the pack just sits nicely like this. All right, so that's the pack, all its features. The next thing we're going to go over is the Neutron wand and see how well that hooks on to this next. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to look on how easy it is to put the hose and the Neutron wand onto it. So we got our Neutron wand right here, all right. This is the Spangler wand. Now, me personally, I really like this wand. I really like it because I do like the wood paneling here. I mean, yes, it's plastic, but the wood panel look, because of the factor that it gives it personality. It makes it look unique. You know, it's just not a standard black grip. It's a, you know, wood grip. You know, it gives it personality. I like that. I'm not a big fan of the tape at the end. I may wind up removing that. But yeah, so this is his wand from Afterlife. Now, there's a firing sequence to it. So hit that one first, that one, and now you're alive. If you try to do it any other way, like, you know, flip that, flip that, flip that, it doesn't completely go on. So you have to do the firing sequence, which is kind of cool. All right, now there's a power control knob here. So that's low, and then as you see, that's full power. All right, you have a release for your barrel right here. Let's see if we, oh, well, we can see that. So when you hit that, your barrel opens, And then to fire, you hit your button. So see? There we go. Now you have these lights here. Alright. Now when I kill this, you can see your proton beam. Now this does have 4 modes. So first you have your proton beam. You hit this button. Now you have your slime beam. Alright. Hit it one more time. And now you have your freeze beam. And then your last mode is your proton blast, which is really cool. So I just wanted to give you a quick look at the the Neutron wand. For any of you who might have missed, I do have a review that I did on the wand itself. So if you want to check that out, you can. And then when you power it off, you hit the switches, you close up your barrel. Now, I guess real quick before we start hooking things up, let me get into this box here. All right, for any of you who are interested, let's see how well this cap goes on here. So, if you look at the barrel, you look at this, that just pops on real easy. So now you have your orange cap. Like I said, they mainly did that for cosplay. Because some places, you know, you need to have an orange cap on there. Otherwise, you get in trouble. So, with that being said, let's see how well the hose works. So, this is your hose, okay? This piece hooks into the pack. Now, if you look in there, there's a little notch. Okay, that lines up with the little tab that's right here. So, that way you know exactly how this is supposed to go on. So, you just line that little notch up. Lines up really easy. And then you just screw it on. I'm only using a finger and a thumb to screw this on. And you screw it on until it's tight. Don't have to really power it on, just enough to where it's tight. Alright. Now this piece here goes into your wand. Alright, into your Neutron wand. It replaces the battery pack. So, when you bring your wand around, you pull that out. That's your battery pack. That comes out of there. All right, I'm going to put the battery pack here. And that. And then this also has a lineup. So you see this piece here? This is going to go on in the bottom of your wand. Because if you look, right here, it's maybe a little hard to see. There's a little groove for that. And it just slides right in there. And then you just thread it in. And once again, you don't want to put all the power in the world, just enough to where you get resistance and it's on. So, with that all together, let's see how all this works. All right, so now we have everything hooked up. All right, so we have the pack together. We have our hose connected to our wand. So, let's see if this works. All right. So let's do the fire sequence and see if it cuts on the pack. Now the pack is in the off position. All right. So there we go. So you have your pack on. Everything's up and running. Your Neutron wand. So let's kill the lights. Oh, look at that. So your Cyclotron is working. You have your power bar. And your proton beam. So everything is working as they said it would. It's all functioning how it should. You know, you have your volume control here for that. That still works your pack. All right, your power control still works your proton. I mean, your Neutron wand. I don't know why I keep on calling it proton wand. So it all syncs up. It all works. It's really cool. Now, you do have 2 hookups here. This hookup here is meant to hook onto a to a belt or something, so you can have it hanging off of a belt. And this is what hooks onto the pack. So let's see how well this all hooks up. So We're going to kill it. Give it a second. Now your pack is dead. So that's pretty cool. So this easily hooks on right here. Just slides into place. As I make a liar out of myself. There we go. So now the whole pack is together. And it's as it should be. Now, you can also kick it all on from the pack too. Okay? Just like in the movies. So you can also activate the pack in the on position, or if you turn it into the off position, you can now activate it through the wand. Here, I'll do it one more time. So that will activate your pack. So overall, you can kill it. So now it takes it a minute for it to shut down. There it goes. So overall, this thing is awesome. All right, I'm not even going to mince words. I'm not even going to joke about it. Here, let me get on to the other side here again. This thing is awesome. I love it. This is a must-have for any Ghostbuster fan. It's great. There was a lot of thought put into this. There was a lot of love put into this. There are ways you can still modify stuff. Like, I know some people are going to try to modify this to look like the 80s packs, which it works because there's screw holes and stuff. So you can unscrew this hook. You can put the cleaner cord and what have you. So it's completely modifiable. It's beautiful as it is. I mean, this is really nice. For all of us who are lucky enough to get this, you know, and I do mean lucky, you know, this is a great piece. It's well priced for what you're getting. Like I said a couple times in this video that, you know, most of your packs will go for somewhere between, you know, $1,000 up. Where this is great. You get everything you want. It's a 1-to-1 scale. You know, you get the lights, you get the sounds, you get, you know, your Cyclotron comes apart and you can, you know, adjust that and do all that kind of cool stuff. So for anybody who's a Ghostbuster fan, I would highly recommend this. You know, even, and I hate to say it, even on the secondary market, you're going to pay out the rear for it. But even then, it's worth it. Maybe $1,000. I wouldn't go much more over $1,000, because when you start getting into that territory, you can now get a customized piece for that. But for the price that I got this for, and the wand's also an extra $100. So you would say overall this would probably be about $600, maybe $700 at tops. So it is worth it. This set is worth it. I absolutely love it. So, and I will be picking up an Alice frame for it. And when I do that, I'm definitely going to, you know, do a review on that and a, you know, putting it together video. So I hope you all liked this video. If you did, check out some of my other Ghostbuster stuff. I do have a few Ghostbusters things, you know, on a playlist. I will be coming out with more Ghostbuster stuff as time goes by, or just check out some of my other videos. So I hope you guys liked this. If you did, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Late. Thank you for watching this video. If you did like this video, do me a favor, you know, hit the like button, subscribe, you know, share it with friends, hit the notification bell so you can see more content, and always leave a comment. I'm always happy to hear from you. And check out my Patreon page where I have things that you won't see, you know, on this normal page. So once again, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Later.